Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from live. I greet you in the name of the Lord. I love to welcome you to this section and this segment again. I believe that you have been empowered daily as you followers in this diverse series looking at words that can refine your person. Yeah, my name is Edisemi Okpokiti, your coach, your friend, your pastor, and someone who is here to impact value in your life. I believe in building one man, empowering him enough to build his community. I believe you will see more of me and you listen more, and your life will definitely be impacted. And I'm going to be speaking on a very wonderful topic today: increasing your value. Yeah, increasing your value. Every man has a value, every man has a worth, and no one comes without a sense of worth or a worth value of itself. But what life offers is opportunity for this value to be increased. So the more your value is increased, the more you get out of life. I'll be making these as simple as possible and straight as possible. What is value? Value is the worth of a man that he or she gives in exchange for a greater worth. That's what value is. So when I give out value, it must be worth receiving back a greater value than what I do, or the same measure of value. It is not value if what it brings back is not valuable to you. So when you give out value, it brings back something valuable to you. So these words can be physical words, Ficus value, physical, spiritual words, mental worth, emotional worth, psychological worth, social worth, and otherwise. The question then that you need to ask, a few questions for you to really understand and delve into this thought line of increasing your value, is number one, how much are you worth? As a person, how much are you worth? You know, somehow it's negative, but it tends to tell us certain things about value. You see in this world, certain people are kidnapped and then the ransom is held. I remember a particular situation, an official in our country, in my nation where I come from, the mother was kidnapped and they were asking for a ransom of ₦1 billion. I don't know how much ₦1 billion be in dollars. ₦1 billion in dollars should be about $100 million if I'm right. And that's what somebody is asking. Now other people are kidnapped and they are asked 150,000 naira. That's just about $1,000. You know, and everybody has eyes, has nose, has ears, and you're wondering. So we see, for example, some years ago, there was an exchange pact between the Palestinians and the Israeli. A 19-year Israeli soldier that was caught in the exchange pact of prisoners. I think about 700 soldiers and freedom fighters were released from prison just to get back that one soldier, that one 19-year-old boy, showing the value that the nation had put in the life of that 19-year-old boy. One boy worth almost over 500 human beings. Wow. So how much are you worth? The next second question is, what are you worth doing for? Why should people go out of their way for you? Why should people do something for you? Are you worth it? What are you worth doing for? Number three is, what height are you worth attaining? You see, so many people they already know that they don't deserve certain things that come their way. So they are overwhelmed when opportunities of favor, like you will call it, comes to them, because they know they don't deserve it. But there's a level of value that you impute into your life when you attain certain heights. It's no longer a surprise. You know that you are worth attaining that height. Why? Because you are putting the value that will bring you to the attainment of that height. Number four is, whom are you worth having? It's not everybody in your life that is worth you. Neither are you worth everybody's life. It has to come to the place of worth and value. Whom are you worth having? You can't live a valueless life and you think that you are worth having someone of great value. No, no. These are questions you need to ask yourself. Number 5, what kind of life are you worth living? What kind of life are you worth living? Think about it. Do you deserve the life that you desire? Do you deserve the life that you're dreaming about? Are you worth that kind of life? Should life give you itself in that dimension and that level? Are you worth it? All of these questions, you must write down and find answers to them. If you don't do that, you cannot be intentional about life. You cannot build a life of value and worth until you become intentional and purposeful answering these questions of life. What is your life worth? For example, if you don't know how much you are worth, how do you price your value? If you don't know how much you are worth, how do you know how much of your life you spend? How do you know how much of your life you save? Your worth, your value. And so we're talking about increasing your value. The answer of these questions will bring you a clear path in your journey of life and will give you a strategy for you to begin to live an intentional life to increase your value. Anything that you have not envisaged, that you have not seen, you will not endeavor to have. Life is a trade and men are traders. Every day you come out of your life, you are a commodity to be sold and to be bought. So what you are going to have in life is going to determine what value of your product that you are. People trade you. When you go to work, you are being traded. That's why at the end of the month, after working for 30 days, you are paid an amount of money. Hey, come on, listen to that. That money you are paid is what you are worth for the time you have given in a month. Because in the same office that you go from 8 to 5 o'clock, 8 to 4 o'clock, we all agree that there are people who take 7 times the amount of money that you take. They spend the same time with you at work and they get 7 times the worth of what you have. Can you see that? Can you see that? That can be two things. If you are negative about life, that can be self-defeating. If you are positive about life, that can be self-inspiring. You can decide to inspire yourself and say, you know, many years back, someone said to me, he said, have you ever calculated your salary for the month and calculated it into days and into hours? So I took my annual salary and divided it into 12 months, divided it into 30 days, and divided it into 24 hours. And I'm like, wow, this is what my 1 hour is. This is how much my 1 hour is worth. I remember many years ago, I was listening to a speaker in university. His name is Fela Dotri, and he was speaking to us in my final year. He was speaking to a final year student and was telling us how his 1 hour was worth an amount of money. And if he speaks into the next 1 hour, the same amount of money, even if it's 3 minutes or 10 minutes in the next hour, is paid to him. And then I began to imagine how we sit down and talk for 7 days, every day, speaking morning to night, talking here and there. You are jumping from one friend's room to the next one, talking and talking, and you are paid nothing. What is your 1 hour worth? Have you built your life, or are you willing or planning or in the process of building your life to the fact that your 1 hour will be worth $1 million? Or what, 1,000 naira? Or what, 50,000 naira? Or $10,000? Or 1,000 pounds? You have to be interested in increasing your life's value. If you feel more valuable, you will produce more value. And that attracts people of value to you. So how you feel about yourself, about the value, will determine the value that will produce and will determine the people of value that is attracted to your life. So the value they come will be added to your own value and will make you more valuable. So the increase of your value is determined by the value that you offer that will bring the value of others into your value. Say with me, I'm valuable, and I will increase in value. Your value is your currency to trade in life. Your value is your currency. I told you that your life is a trade and you are the commodity. You are bought and sold on a daily basis. And the trade and the currency that is being traded is your value. So if you don't increase your value intentionally, that means your currency of trade is reduced. You will buy for less and you'll be bought for less. How do you raise your self-worth? Whether in business, in ministry, in marriage, in your personal life, how do you raise your value? The feelings of unworthiness can hamper your ability to express and find your true worth. You can never feel that you are invaluable. You should stop feeling that you don't have a worth. It doesn't matter if you've been raped. It doesn't matter if you've been denied a lot of things. It doesn't matter if you've graduated from the university, it's 7 years, it's 5 years without a job, and your mates are driving cars and building houses. Don't feel unworthy of yourself. Every time you lose your self-worth, you are reducing in your value. Because how you feel about your worth and your value is the level of value and worth that you produce, and you exchange in value for value. So you cannot afford to feel unworthy. You cannot afford to feel valueless. Once you don't perceive or feel yourself worthy enough of what you want or desire, you will self-sabotage. So you yourself, you are going to be the one that will be self-destructive. Even when people talk about you and want to talk right about you, you down talk yourself. Somebody will say to you, I think you will fit into this position. You hear somebody say, never, no, it's not possible. Let's look for somebody else to do it. Why? Because they don't feel a sense of worth and a sense of value. You cannot remain in the state of feeling unworthy and feeling invaluable. The beginning of the place of increment of your value is to feel right about yourself. Is to know what God says about you. Is to speak to yourself on a daily basis and tell yourself that you are what you are doing, and you are what having something better, having a life that is better than the present life that you have. Those who have better lives are not better than you. They only feel more valuable than you feel about yourself, and so they produce more valuable in the marketplace, and when it is exchanged, it brings in more value to them. So the best way for you to feel valuable is to treat people with value. Oh yeah. That's why many people cannot understand their value. You cannot feel valuable until you treat people with value. When you begin to treat people with value, a sense of value is restored and imputed in you. Because every time you treat people with value, they begin to value your time. They value, and the sense of value that they give to you makes you to feel valuable. You cannot seek value trying to be valuable to yourself. You only get value by giving value to the lives of others. You're getting it right? You're getting it right? You can see. So the amount of people that seek value and receive value from you determines how much you feel valuable about yourself. Certain people will never commit suicide. Why? Because they have a sense of value, and they know that for them to do that, for them to leave the earth, there are a lot of people who depend on what they do or what they say or what they stand for. And so they will refuse, no matter the pressures, no matter the things that face them, no matter the negativity that comes their way. They tend to stand because they know that in their living, others find a living. You live for. That's where your sense of value is going to come from. So you have to, the practical actions that you do to people, you must be kind to others. Always serve others, which means to offer value to others. Don't always wait to be served. It doesn't matter the position that you are. Use your position to serve. Don't wait for the people to serve you. The problem with us, with leadership in this part of the world, is because our leaders want to be served rather than to serve. So they've lost their sense of value. That's why even the people do not value the leaderships in this part of the world. Whether you are in a church leadership, you are in a corporate leadership, you are in family leadership, whatever form of leadership you find yourself in, a position that you are given to, if you're going to have a sense of worth and value, then you must learn to add value through your position. You learn to serve. Always serve others and don't always expect to be served. It is almost impossible to manifest what you are and become who you want without being of service to others. If you want to be the fullness of who you want to become, then you must be of service to others. The people whose net worth are high are people who serve the most people. Yeah, that's it. You could say bingo, cash it up there. Look at it. The people whose value and net worth are high in this life, they serve the most people. Go into any field of the life. Let's look at sports. Go and look at Messi in football. Look at Ronaldo. They play in the biggest clubs of the world. Look at their Facebook and their Instagram and Twitter handles. They have more people. Why? They are offering a sense of entertainment, of value of entertainment to a lot of people. People find and derive joy in what they are doing. That's why they pay them so much of money. In a field of 11 players playing, one person is paid 500,000 pounds in a week. Another person in the same field running for 90 minutes is paid 50,000 a week. Are you seeing that? Because it depends on what they serve, the people they serve most. Go to the corporate world. You find out the people who make the most of money are the people whose commodities are used by so many people. So the guy who everybody is using his airline most is the guy whose net worth is highest in the airline business. The guy who everyone is using his house groceries most, whether it's rice, it's beans, it's ketchup, it's anything, the more people use it, the more their net worth. So they are serving people with their products. So the more people take value from you and from your product, the more you increase in your net worth, the more your value increases. So you can't have anything for free. Even if you do, you must know that somebody has paid for it. That's why you must attach value to everything that you have. You have to get to the point you stop enjoying the goods of life for free, knowing that others have traded value for you to have what you are having for free. You are listening to me, you might not be paying, but you should know that somebody has paid the value for this time. And that's why it's coming to you for free. Now, if you treat this value we're offering to you for free, you will not have increase in value because you have despised the value of value. So when you find things and people that add value to your life, you must put value in them. That's how you increase in value. So if life is a trade and we're all traders, the question then is, what are you selling? And what's the value of the product that you are selling? When you wake up every morning, what do you sell to life? Who buys from what you are selling? Who is trading out of the value that you're offering life? So imagine that. So people will only and always pay for what they value at the price that they value it. Some people value themselves very high, but people pay for the value very low. Have you ever seen somebody come to sell something to you and it says the amount of it is $10 and you look at it and say, this thing is not worth $10, it's $1. The person said, no, I will not sell it. You begin to price and price and price, you end up selling it for $4, which is what you thought that and you think is the original value. But he overpriced it for $10. But do you know that the same product made by another manufacturer in a different scenario can be sold for $100? And the same person who paid $4 for this product will pay $100 for their product. You know why? Because he knows the value worth of where the other one is coming from. Who is paying for the value that you offer in life? The more people pay for your value, the more your net worth increases. The more you know. So people will only always pay for what they value and at the price value. Most people value themselves more than the real worth. And they live offended that people don't have the same value for them. They think people don't value me. Why? Because you raise your own value. Let people pay for the value that you offer. The more you increase your value, the more they pay for the value. The solution to that lifestyle or that assumption of valuable is to listen to feedbacks. Feedbacks will always tell you. That's why you see that every product comes with a feedback form. They keep opportunity for feedbacks. They want to know what the customer wants, because it's the customer's satisfaction that determines the worth and the value of the products. When people give you feedback about your life, about your products, do you snap or do you take in the feedback and change the things they say so that your value will increase to your clients and your customers? So imagine the following, make a sense of it, and then you will just see all of a sudden how your life can begin to transform and there's an increase of value. How much do you say in a day? Who do you speak to in a day? What value do they offer for what you say? These are the things you have to begin to think about yourself. So when you begin to see things in the light of this life, or in the light of this and in this line, you will begin to pay attention to the things you do. You become intentional about your time. You become intentional about your words. You become intentional about your actions. You become intentional about the products of your life. And if you are in business, you're an entrepreneur, you begin to be intentional about the products that you are giving to customers and what the customers think about the products. The more you are quiet in the midst of so many talking, your worth and your value increases. The Bible says, the good book says, in the multitude of words, it said there is sin. The reason why so many people might not value you in your family and in your talk is because sometimes you talk too much. And you talk so much that you talk things of value and things of no value. So at the point, they just put out anytime you want to talk, they say, this one is not going to say anything. And then while you are talking, they are saying to you, please, you have talked enough, can you be quiet? And they are seeking to listen and hear the words of a man who has not spoken. Your words must be treasured. Your words must be treasured silver, treasured gold, so that when you speak, it has value to its hearers. Don't talk anyhow. Don't be everywhere. Stop visiting that house, that friend, every day, and make yourself cheap and valuable. He has not married you and you're all over him, doing every work that a wife should do. You are giving her, spending money all over her and doing everything that a husband should do. And then you say she doesn't respect you. Why should she? Why should he? Be scarce. Scarcity is one of the things that drives value. Be scarce. Be a scarce commodity. Something that is valuable, that when it comes to the marketplace, when it's traded, people are seeking for it. So you must know this, that your self-worth plus your network is equals to your net worth, which is your value. Your self-worth plus your network is equals to your net worth. You cannot despise the community of people that live around you. Your self-worth, your network of people can determine yourself. You know that a particular commodity can be sold in a particular area or vicinity for a low price, and the same commodity in another environment can be sold 3 times the price. Have you seen a scenario like that? Have you seen a scenario like that? People pay for the same thing according to the network, the vicinity. What you pay in eyebrow areas is not what you pay in slums. It goes for the low price because of the network. I want to speak to somebody here. You are valuable and you have something valuable you are offering the world, but you are not seeing the net worth of it. Is it not time to change your network? Is it not time to take your valuable value to people that will value your value? Isn't it just that the people that you are offering the value do not value your value? Is that not why you are running into debts and you are almost getting frustrated, and you know that what you have and what you've built yourself over the years is of value to people? Your self-worth plus your network is equal to your net worth. You can't be more valuable than the value of people you know, and the people you know cannot give you more value than your value. If you say, I'm shy, I don't like people, you're going to reduce your net worth. The people that you know are your first customers. If they are not able to afford what you are offering as a value, even though what you offer is valuable, they will never buy it because it's not a priority value to them. You can't be offering computer to somebody who has not eaten food. A man who is in the slum and his daily value is just to eat and survive, and you are talking to him about artificial intelligence, and you have done all the courses and you're saying, oh, these people don't understand. My church people don't know. They are not encouraging me. My family people, they are looking for what to just eat, daily bread. Start selling food. You will sell a lot. You make a lot of money, because that's what that group of people value. Always take your value to the people that value your value. That's how you increase your value. That's how you convert your value to a worth. By having your value in the right place. Let me say this to you. You cannot despise the value that comes from people. People are the ones that increase your value. In this edition of Increase Your Value, I'd like to stop here, and I want to do a summary of what we have said. We have said that life is a trade of values, that your life is a commodity, and you are a trader, trading your value and buying value. And if you don't increase your value, you cannot have value increased for you. Your life worth is a function of the value that you offer to people. And one of the ways that you can become valuable is, first of all, to understand your self-worth. Understand that you come to this earth with a value, but most time your value is in a raw condition until it is refined, or it is conditioned until it goes through processes. It cannot be bought by others. So once you have a sense of self-worth, and then you begin to offer this value to others as a form of service, and it is valuable to the others to the extent that they are willing to pay for the value, that's how you increase your self-worth. We have said, so then your self-worth plus your network is equal to your net worth. You are more valuable than you think. I know that, because you were not created empty. Don't despise yourself. Don't even despise your little beginning. Keep building your value. Keep increasing your self-worth. And as you increase it, offer it as a value to those that need it. Those that need it. Those that need it. They will pay, because your value is their need, and they need it to increase their own value. As you keep doing this, your value increase. I'll see you again. I remain Edisemi Okpokiti. In next edition, we are going to talk about increasing your value, part 2. God bless you, and stay valuable.